Few weeks into session already, Senator. A lot going on, obviously, and some of your priority legislation making its way through. Tell us about the foreign ownership bill, Senate Bill 76.
Senate Bill 76 returns Missouri law back to the way Missouri legislators found it in 2013, which would ban new foreign ownership of Missouri agricultural land after August of 2023. Since its enactment in 2013, this law has divided the agriculture community and has caused distrust between people and the government. With that said, very few foreign investors have used the law or purchased agricultural land because, for the most part, 111 out of the 114 counties prohibit foreign companies and domestic corporations from purchasing farmland. These three counties include Mercer, Putnam, and Sullivan. Two of these counties are located in the 12th district and the other one in the 18th district. The divide and distrust that has been a byproduct of this law outweighs any benefit.
Another measure that one of the first ones that was on the floor of the Missouri Senate this week, Senate Bill 51, deals with physical therapists.
Yes, and I was fortunate to be on the committee that got to listen to that bill and the testimony around it. Of course, I've had people advocating for this even before I made it over into the Senate. I've been around that discussion. And a bill removing restrictions and regulations for physical therapists and will save patients time and money was passed by the Senate this week. Senate Bill 51 would allow physical therapists with a doctorate of physical therapy or 5 years of clinical experience to evaluate and initiate treatment on a patient without a referral from a physician. I was proud to support this bill in the Committee on Government Accountability and on the Senate floor. Where I live at, sometime making doctor's appointments and getting a prescription would be difficult to do. I see this as being safe for people in the area, and I'm going to continue to support it as I did in committee.
Obviously, a big part of what the legislature does is put together the budget for the upcoming fiscal year. The governor has laid out his ideas for the lawmakers this year. A long way to go between now and the first Friday in May on that.
Yeah, it certainly is. As many people know, I was very happy to be selected to be on the Appropriations Committee. Really earlier in the week, we discussed some of the governor's budget priorities. Some of that started off with that 8.7% increase in pay for state employees. On top of last year, I think the total ended up being 7.5. There were two different dollar amounts mixed together, 2% and then a 5.5% raise. And as we look at the shortages found throughout our state government, this certainly is one of the things at this point. I've not seen any reason for me not to be supportive of doing that. Now, we hope that we're getting back to a level where we can keep some people in jobs and maybe inflation goes down and maybe we don't need to go to 8.7% next year. It may get difficult to do, but for sure it seems like I'm going to be able to support that this year. The money being put in broadband, I think the governor had almost another $250 million new dollars to go into broadband on top of what we've done in the previous year. And honestly, 2 years has been a decent amount of money put in that budget for deployment, mapping, et cetera, all those things around broadband, representing the northwest part of the state, such a rural part of the state. This is certainly important for citizens where I'm at. And we also don't want to forget it's important for our businesses, small businesses up there, or they might be looking and say, we can't survive without this access. So I'm going to continue to support those things. Jump over to K through 12 education, fully funding the transportation part of our budget is super important in northwest part of the state in the 12th senatorial district. With that decrease in funding that had really went on for almost 20 years, and then last year it was fully funded. Again, the governor's recommending fully funding that formula, and that has tremendous impact on schools, buses, paying bus drivers, all those things help make kids safer. And again, the governor has recommended fully funding the foundation formula, and I don't really see there being much problem with those major issues. But as you said, it's a long time till the first Friday in May. We're supposed to have this done, aren't we? So a lot of things could happen then, but I don't see any big critical things happening to these issues that we talked about.